Hi everyone. In this video I would like to share my experience with a WordPress cache plugin. So I was looking for a plugin possibly free of charge or not that expensive. So obviously I checked on the plugin repository on the WordPress site. There are many plugins. So they all offer a free tier, and then you have to upgrade and pay more to get more features. So the issue I am having with those plugins is I have a particular requirement because my site is using CDN, Cloudflare to be specific. So what I would like to use is CDN cache rather than the web server cache. So all the plugins are offering cache on the server. So I think it is from a performance perspective not ideal. So here's a little infographic from Cloudinary. So visitors, and then they come through the internet and they hit CDN, in this case like a reverse proxy cache server, and then the request comes through to the web server. So what I would like to do is do the caching at CDN level so that the pages get served very quickly, so they don't even need to hit the web server, right? So these plugins here on the WordPress side, most of them offer caching on the server. So CSS, JavaScripts get minified and the pages are cached. But they still hit the web server. Because I use Cloudflare CDN, I thought CDN cache would be better, right? So I found this plugin called Super Page Cache for Cloudflare. I've installed it, tried out, and I think so far this is the best for my need. And I would like to share my experience, so perhaps it works for you as well, right? So it's very straightforward. Find the plugin and then install, right? So once you have installed, this is what it looks like once you have installed. And so you need to link your Cloudflare account with the plugin, obviously. So how you do it, so select the authentication method API token and then your email address, and then you need the token, right? So in order to get the token, you have to go to Cloudflare and you have to create a new API token under My Profile API tokens, okay? And then click on create token. They have defined templates, so I just used WordPress. However, this is not going to be enough because we need one more so that the plugin can create some entries, okay? So you will see in a minute. So select zone and then select cache config rules, cache rules, okay, and then select edit, okay, and then you can save it. So because I've already created it, so I'm not going to create again. Let me come back to the list. So once you create it, it will give you a token. Copy that token and come back to your WordPress plugin, and then paste it here, and then you can connect it, okay? So once you've done that, your cache plugin is connected with your Cloudflare account, okay? And then I left all the settings as default, where you can change it where you think you have to change it, but make sure you understand before you make any changes, okay? So brilliant. Next, This plugin also works with other plugins you normally see on the WordPress plugins repository. So all the free ones and the commercial ones, but I haven't touched anything. Okay, right, so now we connected, and now we have to see that in action. So what happens is, once we connected it, it will automatically add some header information to the page that we're going to see now. So okay, before you can try that, you can also test whether caching is working. So you can just hit the button, and then it will tell you whether caching is fine, and whether your plugin is connected with their Cloudflare web service. So let me refresh it and then test the plugin, and then it tells you it is working properly. Brilliant. So now we come back to this page. So this is the page where I installed the plugin on. So I'm going to hit home. So it is loaded very nicely, and take a look at the headers. So because I've installed and tried before, it is telling the cache has expired. Okay, but these are the response headers you have to pay attention to. Okay, so the cache status will tell you exactly what's happening with this page. So if the CDN can't find a cache, obviously the request will go to the web server and will be served from there. But the next time CDN will cache the page, and then you will see instead of expired, it will say hit. And there are other values as well. You can read Cloudflare documentation to understand what that means. So obviously, other header values are these ones here. So the server is Cloudflare. That's the confirmation that the page is being served by CDN Cloudflare, and some other values added. For instance, the cache control, so the max age and S max age. So the max age is 60 seconds for the browser, and S max age is 1 year for the Cloudflare cache, to keep the caching for 1 year, unless we send a purge request. So right, so this is expired. Let me refresh and see what we are going to get. So it's still saying expired. I think it will take some time. Let's go to About page. So we got a hit here, which means this has been, the page has been served by Cloudflare Cache. So let me try other pages, because I've done a cache purge, so we should see some pages aren't cached, or services, and the page is loaded in 33 milliseconds, which is definitely from the cache. So we can see hit. So let me go to another page, for instance, privacy policy page. Let's see what we are seeing. So it says expired. Okay, cache expired. So should quickly refresh. So we got a hit now, and you can, if you take a look at the time, how long it takes to load the page, 55 milliseconds. See how quickly the page is loaded, and the request hasn't even hit the server, the web server. So it's been served by CDN. So for the pages like this, it works really well. And if you've got any dynamic pages, obviously you can add exclusion rule that I'm going to show in a second. Okay, so contact page, Let me load again and see what is. Yeah, it's got a hit. Brilliant. So what the plugin does is, after installation, it will create some rules. So this is the rule it will create, is in excluding some pages, obviously. Yeah, so you don't want certain pages on your site to be cached. So they add some exclusion rule, and obviously you can extend the rule to add more or remove if you don't like. But there is a minor issue with this approach. So what happens is, by default, is only looking at the exclusion rule. Okay, so what I had to do is add a rule with priority number 1, so that all pages are going to be cached. Yeah, so any incoming request should be cached. Then priority number 2 is then apply all the exclusions on top of that. So this way, all the pages, all web pages will be covered, and anything that is excluded in this rule, that will be excluded. Okay, and if you got any pages that look like this with a trailing slash at the end, you may need to add an extra rule, URLs with trailing slash. So you just need to say URI path ends with slash, and that will qualify for cache as well. So, but most of the time, I think the covering all pages will handle all other pages. So I think overall I'm really happy with this plugin, and it does the job for free of charge, because I'm using Cloudflare free tier. I don't even pay for the service, and it does a really good job. So I thought I'd just share my experience, a pleasant experience with you all guys, and hopefully it may help you. Okay, thanks very much. Thanks for watching.